And welcome on inside Firebird Field for round one of the Ohio High School Football Playoffs as your Lakota West football Firebirds, the GMC champion Firebirds, who finished this season with a 10-0 record for the first time in Lakota history, turn their attention to the Lebanon Warriors tonight in Westchester, and it should be a great one. All the fans out here for Lakota are out in all red here tonight, ready to get this one up and started. As always, in the booth for tonight's game, Nick Johnson, Grant Hageman, bringing you the coverage up here in the box. And Grant, this should be a very fun football playoff game.
This is going to be a great game. I am very excited for this. It is the first round of the playoffs. 54 seed Lebanon against 5 seed Lakota West. First round, you know, senior year for me, senior year for a lot of people on this team, senior year for people on that field. This is what we want. We want to go. We want to win it all. And it starts here, this first round against Lebanon.
We had a special show last night. Buffalo Wings Drinks on 747 graciously hosted Bird Talk Live, the first ever edition. If you haven't watched that, go ahead and do that after tonight's ball game. But we talked about a lot of those seniors, one of the biggest seniors on this Lakota West football team. You don't have to know about a whole lot about the team to know number 7, Mitch Bolden. He's been under center for Lakota West all year long, and he was our Offensive Player of the Year and our MVP. And we should see a little bit of him tonight, as he should hopefully dominate on that offensive side of the ball against a Lebanon team that has struggled all over the field so far this year.
Yeah, Mitch Bolden is quite literally incredible. 35 touchdowns in 10 games is unheard of. That's what will win you an MVP in the NFL, and there's a good reason for that. I mean, and especially against a Lebanon team who's not quite got the best record and is a little bit struggling. I think Mitch Bolden could really prove himself here tonight, and I am extremely excited. As you can also hear, the band's pretty excited with how loud they're playing.
Yeah, and that's the offensive side of the ball. Let's talk about that defensive side of the ball. It's recently been dubbed linebacker high. Lakota West, a hot spot right now for that linebacker core. You look at all three of them, Micah Markley, Mike Brankamp, Jacob Asbeck. Jacob Asbeck was our Defensive Player of the Year award winner, and Mike Brankamp able to come back with that Comeback Player of the Year award last night at Wings Drinks. Let's talk about those guys. They've had an incredible season all year long. They look to continue that dominant stretch here tonight and take it with them through the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, that linebacking core is absolutely incredible. Michael Brankamp is something that's really special, and he's really grown, especially this year. He's come back, and it's just became something amazing that he's done. And so he's the senior leader, as you know. And then besides that, you've got Jacob Asbeck, 13 tackles for loss and 8 sacks, 50 tackles in 10 games. Ridiculous. That's almost a sack a game. And so he was just a monster. And then, like you said, one more player, Micah Markley. How could you forget him? Another absolutely stunning player on this West defense. This linebacking core is great, and I'm very excited to see what they come up with tonight.
Yeah, so that's the players. Let's get to talking about the teams. It wouldn't be a playoff pregame show if we didn't take a look at that playoff bracket. Let's take a look at some teams that Lakota West is going to have to face. Also, Moeller on the opposite side of that playoff bracket. Lakota West very familiar with those Crusaders, and they're hoping they don't have to face them later on, although odds are probably in Moeller's favor on that one. So, Grant, what are you looking for? Who are those big games that you want to see tonight, and who do you want to come away with some of those important games?
One of the biggest games I see is Fairfield-St. X, obviously. It's probably the best game around here right now. I mean, sure, Lakota West is always fun to watch, but we're against a little bit of a lower seed, so, you know, it's not predicted that this one's going to be everyone's going to talk about for ages. What's kind of predicted tonight is that, you know, we'll have a little bit of a landslide, but you don't want to say that fully and just believe that. But that Fairfield-St. X game, those are both two super-powered teams. And so seeing that in the first round is something you usually never see in the first round. And so that honestly would be amazing. I mean, those are the two games, best games Lakota West had all season. We loved watching those. But really, the big part about that game is St. X is a very vertical passing team, and Moeller is not good against the vertical game, especially since their best thing is run. I feel like St. X could be very scary for Moeller if they come together. And so if Moeller beats Hamilton and St. X beats Fairfield, that could be a very interesting round 2 matchup with a possible upset. So I would keep our eyes on that. But one more matchup I want to note is Princeton takes on West Claremont. And so basically, if we win tonight against Lebanon, we will go up against Princeton. I don't know if you guys remember where we went up against Princeton earlier in this year. 31-7 victory. It was one of the most hyped up games of the year, but Lakota West dominated. I'm sure Princeton is hungry to get that back. And so we will see what can happen there if that game happens next week. And if it does, of course, we're here covering as always. And we are ready for that one because that one's going to be one to remember.
So focusing back in on our game, you can see the Lakota West football team about to run out of their tunnel onto the football field for tonight's contest. But as far as the coaching staff goes, how do you think they're going to play this one? Are they going to come out? Are they firing on all cylinders? Or do you think they're going to go a little bit conservative, kind of rest up those guys, hide that playbook for a little later on in the playoffs?
Like I said last night at the Wings and Rings, if you guys want to go watch that. But I talked about this as you did too. I think Lakota West just sticks to what they know. I don't think they need to show anything new or incredibly flashy or anything like that. But I think they show some fun stuff. They show the nice little fun side. They just do what they've been doing for weeks. And so I think we'll see that tonight. And I'm very excited to see what Lakota West comes out with.
Well, we are moments away from seeing these players rush out onto the field. Kickoff in just a few moments. So I got to ask, what are the final score predictions for tonight's ball game?
Tonight's ball game. I don't know. You don't want to predict the score because you don't want to jinx it, but I've got a lot to a little. I'm not going to say my exact score, but I think you can get your understanding from that one. How about you, Nick?
Yeah, I didn't really have an exact score in mind. I think it'll be a little closer than maybe people would think. Lebanon, they're not a great football team, especially when you put them up against the Lakota West, but they're not exactly bad either. They're still a 4-6 football team, had a lot of close games. They played a close one with Springboro, a 19-21 final score. So they're very capable, so I don't necessarily think there'll be a running clock on early, but we'll have to get to later in the game to look at how that goes. But as we see these Lakota West Firebirds charging out onto the field wearing all red in tonight's contest, moments away from taking on Lebanon here in Westchester Firebird Field. The atmosphere is electric. It's playoff football. We'll be back in a few moments after this with all the coverage of tonight's game. Stick with us. You won't want to miss it. And we are back inside Firebird Field down here in Westchester, moments away from kickoff, as the Lakota West Firebirds will be receiving to begin tonight's ball game. And we are off. Playoff season is officially a go. It'll be Drew Minnick, the man, taking this kickoff for Lakota West. Very short kick up across the 35, makes a push for the 40-yard line. 60 degrees, not a cloud in the sky at kickoff, and we are in for a good one, as we just said in our pregame show. And out comes this Lakota West offensive unit that has been a dominant force all year. As we said, Mitch Bolden, one of those guys leading this team, who is our Offensive Player of the Year and our MVP. If you watch our Bird Talk live stream last night from Buffalo Wings and Rings. So we're definitely looking for him in tonight's ball game to keep that dominant stretch going as he looks to lead this team down the field for an early touchdown to start. Only 8 seconds taken off the clock on the kickoff, so it'll be 11:52 on the clock in the first quarter. Lakota West looking to jump out in front early on this Lebanon team in round one. So we'll see Bolden in the shotgun to start. takes the snap. Giovanni Wilson, the man in the backfield with him, quickly dumps it off to him. Giovanni Wilson, a little bit shifty, gets up to about the 45-yard line, a few yards short of the line to gain. So they'll call it 2 yards shy of the first down marker. 2nd and 2 on the way. Ball officially spotted around the 46-yard line is where they're going to put that ball down. We'll see a short yardage situation for Bolden and the Firebirds. Bolden, the only man in the backfield. He's got 5 receivers out. Takes a snap, drops back, looks to throw, fires across the middle of the field, finds Brennan Remy, swerves a man downfield across the 30-yard line. It's a foot race to the end zone. Can he get there inside the 10, across the 5, and that is a Lakota West touchdown. Mitch Bolden to Brennan Remy continues to be the hot connection as the Firebirds jump out in front 6-0 before the PAT.
Already, Nick. Already up a score, and we're already on our path to winning and going to the next round. Lakota West is making a statement. They want to win. They want to win state, and so they're here to put up big points right now.
So, Grant, you're the math man. I'll ask you. 2 plays, potentially 7 points. Do we got a pace for that?
Give me 1 second.
Well, he's doing the math there. Tyler Bond, the southpaw place kicker, ready to get this one up the way. Hold is good, snap is good, kick is up. That almost hit the scoreboard as he drilled that PAT. It's a hot start for our Lakota West Firebirds, 7-0, 11:05 on the clock. Let's see, we'll check back in with the math guy. What's the pace for that?
336 points.
That's not a bad pace.
That's not a bad pace.
I like that pace. Well, let's see.
It's a great pace.
Let's see if they can put up north of 300 points. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Lebanon going to take their first crack at offense. Back after a hot start here from Firebird Field. Now Tyler Bond, the left leg kicker, ready to get this one up and away to Lebanon after Lakota West jumps out in front 7-0, a mere 55 seconds into tonight's ball game. 2 plays on offense made it all the way downfield into the end zone for the score. As Bond boots that one up and away, it hits the back of the end zone. We'll see Lebanon come out with a touchback to start.
Lakota West, we're on pretty good pace as we just discussed. We're loving it out here. Lakota West is doing great, and we're hoping they keep doing. You know, next week, probable Princeton, as we've talked about. They've got to be ready. Last time they dominated Princeton, but who says Princeton doesn't want it really bad this time? So they're trying to make a statement tonight and prove that they're ready.
We'll see if Lebanon can come out just as efficient as Lakota West was able to do. It's a very tough task, but we will see if they are able to match it. The man under center for these Lebanon Warriors, number 17, Braden Everett, who enters today 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. So not quite sure what we're going to see out of him today, but he is no doubt looking to improve from what he did in the regular season as he takes a snap there, fakes the handoff, gets it out to the right sideline, read very well, blown up by Malik Hartford right back at the line of scrimmage.
Just great stuff. Malik, he's had a solid season himself. He was in the running for our special teams player of the year. Sadly, that one went to Tyler Bond for his case. Tyler Bond, great though on his end. But right there, he's proven why he's such a great player. Just reading the ball and making the big hit. I would say Malik Hartford is probably the hardest hitter on this team.
I mean, hey, we say it every single week. He's going to Ohio State, and he is going to Ohio State for a reason. The Buckeyes know what they are going to get. We'll see 2nd and 10. There's the handoff. Runs to the right side. Read very well. Brick wall defense from these Firebirds. Maybe gets about a yard out of it, but we will still see a 3rd and long on the way for this Warriors offense.
Lakota West already trying to force something big. And so that's what they're doing. Knocking and trying to get that ball back. They're trying to put up 336 points.
I mean, hey, if we can see it, let's try our hardest. Why not? Gotta wonder if the running clock would maybe mess with any of that, but we'd like to think. We'd like to think.
What are you talking about?
I mean, hey. We'll see the only man in the backfield, the quarterback, Braden Everett. Man in motion to the right side. Everett takes a snap, rolls out to his left. Throw downfield. It is caught around the 45-yard line, a few extra yards. Number 22, Lucas Roddy, on the catch for Lebanon as they move the chains, get close to that midfield line mark.
Good pass there. Honestly, just great play all around from Lebanon. on that play at least. And so you're just looking at that, and it's going good.
So we'll see 1st and 10, 48-yard line is where they are going to spot this ball. Lebanon still in their own territory, maybe not for long. You see Everett take the snap. There's the handoff up the middle, read very well. That is number 33, Grant Bierman. You will notice he is a sophomore playing in tonight's game, taking over for the injured Ben Minnick, who is currently out of tonight's ball game. We will not see him. We have no update on where he will be next week, but we do know that Lakota West definitely wants him back on this field when they get deeper in this playoff run.
Oh, yeah. Ben Minnick, he sustained a little bit of an injury, it seemed, on that game before, but you know, hopefully he comes back soon, and we're looking forward to that.
Run it to the right side again, or sorry, the left side rather, and Jacob Asbeck diving right on that running back around the 45-yard line of Firebird territory. So it will be 3rd down, but significantly shorter than the previous play. They'll call it 3rd and 2 from the field now. Almost 8.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. So a very fast-paced ball game as these Lebanon Warriors look to move those chains once again. See 3 men in the backfield to start this one.
Yeah, on that last play, Asbeck just really sticks with the play, and that's what led to that great stop.
Run to the left side, blown up. We'll see if they get the yardage for that 1st down. It looks like he was close, and those chains will be moving. So a 1st down for the Lebanon Warriors.
Also, just want to apologize beforehand, just in case. It appears the fans in the top row, we're picking up a little bit of their talking on the mics. I mean, they might not say anything bad, but just in case, you know, always just be wary.
So we'll see what the Warriors are able to draw up here. They continue to move efficiently. Play action pass, pressure in the backfield from Asbeck. He trips on that one. Everett going to run with it, gets about 3 before scooting out of bounds. Malik Hartford kind of pressured him there, not quite shoved him, but forced him to go out.
Yeah, just great job keeping up there from Malik. Asbeck, though, is the one who really disoriented that play and got them off their feet. But honestly, just good stuff from Lakota West so far. Lebanon, though, is putting up a fight.
Very elusive is the quarterback, Everett. We've seen him on his legs a few times this season. So far in the year, 558 rushing yards heading into tonight's ball game. We'll see where they elect to use him more so this game. He did have that big pass earlier, fakes the handoff to one side, hands it off to the right, blown up by the defensive front for Lakota West. And we will see yet another 3rd and quite some distance for these Warriors. See 3rd and 8 officially, ball spotted on that Firebirds 40-yard line. Is officially spotted down. So we'll see what the Warriors are able to draw up. They faced a 3rd and long earlier. That's where Everett was able to sling it downfield, find his man Lucas Roddy. And that was a big move of the chains. We'll see if they can repeat here. We see 2 men in the backfield. Everett with a back out to his left. There's Lucas, the man in motion, but we will have a timeout called. So we will take a quick break. We'll be right back in a few moments after the timeout. Back inside Firebird Field, Westchester, Ohio, 3rd and 8 on the way. These Lebanon Warriors continue this very efficient drive as we see a pass from Everett there. Caught by the tight end, but it's tipped up in the air and intercepted. Not quite sure who that is. And I do believe that was number 3, Tabron Benny Powell. Not 100% sure. We'll try and get confirmation. So it was Jacob Asbeck, actually, who was able to come up with that tipped football So our defensive player of the year coming up with a big-time interception to stop the very efficient drive from the Warriors on offense. A little bit Mitch Bolden and this defense Mitch Bolden and this offense looking to continue their dominant stretch. 2 plays, 1 touchdown their last time out. As we see that run go up the middle, gets about 3 out of it. We'll see 2nd and 7.
So far, Lakota West is just playing a game. That's all they wanted. Lebanon is playing right into their cars. We've already got the Brennan Remy deep ball movement going, and now we've got really just the defense working and intercepting.
So we'll see what Bolden on the offense draw up. 2nd and 7. It'll be Gonzalez, the man, out to Bolden's right as he steps back to throw. Under pressure and brought down by the Lebanon defense, number 11, Quentin Wagers. Back there with the sack on Mitch Bolden.
You know, Bolden did what he could in that play. Pressure came, and he got out. He looked in the pocket, looked right, tried making a play, but sadly he got drawn down. You can make the argument, hey, when pressure comes like that and you know you're going to get tackled, you should just ditch the ball, throw it out of bounds, but at least he got out of the pressure. He probably should have thrown that one out, though.
From 2nd and 7 to 3rd and 23, these Firebirds have a country mile to come back from if they want to move these chains. See 4 receivers out wide, 3 of which to the left of Mitch Bolden. As he steps back, fires, finds his man downfield. That was Trent Lloyd. It looks like he did have that knee down, or at least that is what the referees are saying. So we'll see about a 4th and 8 coming up for Lakota West. I would have to imagine they punt it, and indeed the special teams unit comes trotting out on the field.
Special teams unit's electric. I'd be interested to see who's going to come out as the punter with the Ben Minnick electric player be out injured.
It looks like it'll be number 91. That is Joe Marquardt. We'll see how well he's able to boot this one away. We have seen him in a couple of garbage time situations, but we'll see. We get the real comparison to Ben Minnick here. That one booted up very well, almost over the head of the return man for Lebanon, wrapped up very well. Drew Minnick, the physicality on that play, absolutely dragging him down around that 15-yard line. We'll see if they give him forward progress, but an absolute electric play from that special teams unit.
Just a great play. Minnick has been such a big part of this team, especially in the cornerback matchup. I think he has the most pass deflections on the year because they're like, ooh, not throwing it at Josh Fussell. Ooh, not throwing it at his older brother, Ben Minnick. Ooh, not throwing it at Malik. And so they keep targeting Drew Minnick, and every time he's proved him. He's like, okay, keep throwing it at me. And he just keeps on breaking those up. He gets interceptions, and he's proven his worth on this team. And right there, he proves his worth on special teams.
I'm telling you, this Minnick family, it is everywhere. You take one out, the other one just starts to shine even more. As we will see this Lebanon offense trot out one more time. Now 5 minutes on the clock in the first quarter of play. As we will see Everett back out on the field. See a man in motion, takes a snap, back to throw. Under pressure, Asbeck getting to him, not able to bring him down. And Grant Bierman wrapping him up by the knees. That goes down as a sack for the sophomore, making what I believe is his first start of the season in place of number 13, that Notre Dame Irish commit. And what an impact he is having so far in tonight's ball game.
Yeah, you know he's got to be a little nervous. I mean, your first ever game, you're a sophomore, and you're coming in for who? Ben Minnick, a Notre Dame commit? Wait, and then you're coming in the playoffs? So you know he's got to be a little nervous, but clearly those nerves didn't get to him that much because the kid is playing out of his mind right now.
You said it all. Not only is it playoffs, but how do you follow a guy that is a D1 commit? He's been recruited very heavily pretty much his entire high school career. Is that run going to run to the right side? Blown up very well by the West defense. Got it to about the 12-yard line where they're going to call that one down. So we will see third and yet another long distance to go for the Warriors offensive unit.
These Warriors got to get something going. I mean, they had some good momentum on that last drive, but that interception really stunted it.
One of the guys in on that tackle once again, number 33, Grant Bierman, continues his electric ball game. We'll see what he and this defense are able to draw up. 3rd and 15, looking to contain this Warriors offensive unit. They moved with efficiency the first drive. This one not really going anywhere but backwards. Lakota West looks to keep it that way. See Jacob Asbeck, one of those guys jumping around on the line. The Everett to throw, nearly picked off.
Ooh.
That would have been Drew Minnick, one of those guys in there, along with the Ohio State man Malik Hartford, but it is deflected and incomplete, so we'll see 4th and 15. That is a big missed opportunity.
He's got a bit of a limp right now after that diving attempt. Hoping it's just cramps. Probably is, but just something to note.
Yeah, I mean, you got to wonder how much starting time, especially the D1 guys, are going to get in tonight's game. You got to think Coach Bolden wants to keep them on the sideline as much as possible, keep them healthy, because even for Princeton, it's a bit more of a challenge. You want them all healthy for the big games.
Yeah, it can be a bit challenging, but, you know, I think they will try keeping them out and just doing what they can.
Punt man on for Lebanon. 2 men back deep for Lakota West, nearly blocked by who else but Malik Hartford. As you'll see, Trent Lloyd, one of the men deep, he will take that one, gets it up to the 40. He continues to swerve through defenders. All the way down inside the 10, the 5.
Touchdown!
Touchdown, Lakota West Firebirds. They continue their dominant run. What a ball game out of these Lakota West Firebirds and what is just the first quarter of play.
This team is already on fire, and you're not going to stop them. You know, who's to say that we don't, put up 336 points? I mean, still a possibility.
I mean, hey, it's been electric all around. We're having a great time. The fans are having a great time. And this football team has got to be having an even better time down there.
Ooh, hold up. Looks like they're calling a penalty that's declined, maybe?
Yeah, not quite sure what they're conferring about. The points have come off the scoreboard.
Looks like. So it's going to be a touchdown after the penalty is declined, and West goes up.
They do say it stands. So not quite sure. It looks like the offensive team is running back out there for a second, but here comes Tyler Bond on the special teams unit. A little bit of confusion, maybe just a weird hold or block in the back on Lebanon, but as you did say, Lakota West going to decline it. So we'll see if Tyler Bond, southpaw kicker, can make it 14-0, just over 3 minutes in this first quarter of play. So we do have the penalty now. It is a personal foul of some sort, as that one going to sail through the uprights. 14-0 our score. We're going to take a quick break, but stay with us because Lakota West is dominant and they are just getting started. Back inside Firebird Field, this time with a different score on the scoreboard, 14-0. After Trent Lloyd, the electric punt returner, able to take one 50 yards back to the house for Lakota West, as they will boot it up one more time to these Lebanon Warriors, who have continued to fight valiantly all night. Just nothing to show for it in the score column. That one hits the back of the end zone, so we'll see them come out once again at the 20-yard line with a touchback.
Here we go, already up big. As we talked about earlier, Lebanon, the 54th seed out of 64 teams here in this regional bracket. Lakota West, 5th team in the state. I believe they were the 3rd seed in our region. 2 seeds ahead of us are Elder and Moeller. And so we've got an interesting tournament here. We've got some really difficult games upcoming, but we're very excited and we're ready to watch them happen. And we hope you're here ready to watch them with us.
Absolutely. We see Lebanon trot right back on the field. A very unfortunate start to the ball game for them. As we've said, they've been pretty solid on offense with the exception of the tip ball interception. They've been able to move the ball. Last drive, not so much. Pretty much going backwards, and Lakota West just continues to capitalize here. So we'll see them start with the ball. They'll fake the run. That'll be a quarterback keeper. That's Everett running it towards the west sideline. Finally hit very hard out of bounds, and there's a penalty flag thrown. Not quite sure if they're going to call it a late hit, but it was a very strong hit. And it looks like it will be a hold going against Lebanon, so that'll back them up. No doubt about it, Tom Bolden and these Lakota West Firebirds going to take that penalty. It'll be 10 yards, so they'll come right back out on first down, 1st and 20.
Yeah, right there, Lakota West got lucky. Because that QB option play where he took it out of the running back was so good that our cameraman got faked out a little bit there. He was following that running back as the QB came down the left sideline.
So we will see now first, and they're going to call that 15, so not a 10-yard penalty. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. And the ball will be spotted on the 15-yard line as well. as we hit almost the 3-minute mark in quarter number 1. Lakota West looking to stay on top of this offense. Snap taken. They do hand the ball off this time. Redwell blown up. That's Mike Brankamp in on the wrap-up for West.
All I can tell you is that quarterback sold it well, because this time, although our cameraman wasn't faked. I was following the quarterback throughout that run. So this Lebanon team's got some great option plays and got some good stuff back there. They just need to execute and complete a drive, because right now what's happening is they're getting pretty well down the field, and then they just make one big mistake that kills the whole entire drive.
And, I mean, Lakota West would definitely like to keep that one mistake in play for sure. And that option play, they definitely know what they're doing for the play calling. And something similar here once again, they hand it off, but about 4 Firebirds in on that tackle right as he handed that ball off. So maybe about a half a yard on the play, but we will see a 3rd and around 11 to go for this Lebanon offense.
Yeah, right now, Lakota West is dominating. They're proving why they are 49 seeds higher than Lebanon. It's a little bit of a big gap.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Just a bit.
Now under 2 minutes to play, Everett in the backfield is back out to his right, snap taken. Couple guys under, bringing that pressure. Sorry, Elijah Davis, one of them. Asbeck now bringing the pressure, that ball thrown away off to that Lebanon sideline. 1:33 on the clock as that one thrown out of bounds.
There looks to be a flag, and it's going to be a holding call going against Lebanon, but it looks like the penalty is going to be declined because it's going to bring up 4th down.
So 4th down and 11 after he throws that ball away. And we'll see the punt teams come back out one more time. So last time this punt team was out, Trent Lloyd did return it. We did almost see a block from Malik Hartford. So we'll see if they get closer to the block or if we see yet another return. But Lakota West looking to stay electric nonetheless.
Lakota West is putting up a statement right now, and you love to see it.
So we'll see the punter back there, number 76 for Lebanon. That is Ryan Miller, the junior, typically an offensive lineman. Tonight, he's out doing the punting duties. That one is up and away. They kick it to the other side of the field very smartly. It is Brennan Remy across the 40-yard line, across the 30. Pushing to the 20, wrapped up around the 23-yard line. He's finally brought down, and we will see the offense this time around after the punt.
Aw, Nick. The sun's already set. We didn't talk about the sky.
We always do. You get later in the year, sure, there's no sunset, but it's not Friday Night Lights until the whole game happens with the sun down. That's where the magic happens.
And right now, magic is happening. You know why, Nick? It's playoff season, and West is up 14 in the first quarter.
Absolutely. You'll love to see it.
Love to see it. We're hoping this West team goes all the way this year. Wouldn't we love that?
Yeah, we absolutely would. They made us push last year. Unfortunate loss to Moeller in the end. But they should have another shot at him this year. That deep pass to Brennan Remy, and the ball is dropped on the goal line. So close, yet so far.
So close. Almost had him once again. Would have been a massive play there, but ball's just out of reach. And we're going to have to come back and retry that. But Lakota West, I am loving what they're doing. On that play right there, they come out in 11 personnel. Running backs line up at the other side, meaning they're showing both run or pass. So they have a great form coming in there. They put it up, goes deep for it, but doesn't quite land.
Not to be lost in all that, that was very good coverage on Brennan Remy. A hard guy to contain, but it looked like that corner able to pop that ball out, saving a potential touchdown.
Yeah, good play from that corner.
So we'll see Bolden back to throw, able to dump it off. That's a tight end, Luca Gilbert, the sophomore, making a push for the first down marker. Looks like he got about 9 of it. We'll see if he ended up reaching for it. I don't believe he did. They're actually going to call him down significantly shorter, so maybe those long legs coming down a little bit early.
There's going to be a flag on the play.
Not quite sure what it is, but it will be moving Lakota West forward from the looks of it. So I do believe that was roughing the passer on Mitch Bolden. So we say this every week. The only stadium we've had the refs mic'd up, I do believe, is Middletown.
Which was an interesting stadium to have them mic'd up.
It was a very interesting stadium. Barnett Stadium, one of the older stadiums in the GMC.
Yes, it is.
But they do have that mic system working. I really appreciated it.
It might be one of the older stadiums, but they got some new equipment apparently. We loved it.
Yes, we do. So we will now see 1st and goal. Ball officially spotted on the 8-yard line. Lakota West looking to put in another touchdown. See Bolden back to throw. Under pressure, and he evades it pretty well, able to get across the line of scrimmage. Gets a few out of what should have been debatably a sack from that Lebanon defense, but he's able to get about 2 on that left side. See what this team able to draw up. Now 5 yards to the goal line. Just a few seconds remaining in the first quarter. We'll see if they elect to snap the ball. They do. Bolden back to pass under pressure, able to dump it off. And it will be an incomplete pass.
That appears that it's going to be triple zeros in the first quarter is going to go out here. And Lakota West pushing on right now. They're doing extremely well. They're up 14-0 already in this game. And we are very excited for that. But we will be right back after this quick intermission between quarters.
Of round 1 of football playoffs here in Ohio, as that pass just a little bit high, intended for the sophomore tight end Luca Gilbert. But we will see a 4th down and 5 now from the 5-yard line, as we'll see what Lakota West elects to do. They could go for it, or they could bring out the senior place kicker. That would be Tyler Bond, and it looks like that is what they will elect to do. Aaron Peters on to hold, Tyler Bond out to make the kick. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it as well is good. So 3 points now on the board for Lakota West, 17-0 our score. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more action from Firebird Field. Back from Firebird Field with an updated score of 17-0. Tyler Bond able to put one through the uprights for 3 more points as Lakota West continues their dominant run over the Lebanon Warriors, as we will see yet another kickoff for West taken at the goal line by number 22. That is Lucas Roddy out for these Warriors. He is able to get quite a bit of room on that Lebanon sideline, not quite to the 30-yard line before being shoved out of bounds.
So far, Lakota West is just dominating this game. It's really great to see because as students ourselves, we're only mildly biased, just a little bit, and we're having some great fun watching Lakota West put up a, on the way to being a playoff win. Don't want to say anything yet because all of a sudden if I say we put a playoff win on the board, it's going to become a playoff loss.
We haven't had too many announcers jinx moments this year.
Yeah, I can't even remember one off the top of my head, actually.
I feel like there's been one, but I really can't think of any. I'm sure we'll have one eventually.
Eventually.
Might not even be football, but eventually there has to be one.
We might be in baseball and be like, this guy's going to get a home run. Strikeout.
We'll see.
We'll see. Could happen. But here we are with some more football.
1st and 10 now on the 21-yard line is where they're going to say he officially stepped out of bounds before he pushed a little bit farther downfield. So far, this defense holding strong. Grant Bierman, one of those guys who's been holding down the fort with Ben Minnick being injured. He's done an incredible job thus far as that rush going to go for about 2.5 yards before being picked up and dropped by these Firebirds. This defensive front continues to be dominant all night. Not a lot of big rushes that have gone anywhere. As this front, all year they've been very dominant. But especially when you get farther into this playoff run, the run game going to be a bigger part of a lot of these teams' offenses. So we'll see if they're able to keep it that way. Snap taken. It'll be handoff up the middle. So Braden going to hand that one off again, and it goes for maybe a loss of about half a yard. I don't think he gained anything on that rush, as we'll see about a 3rd and 8 now from the field for Lebanon. Of course, Braden Everett, the senior quarterback, this could potentially be his last game. No doubt playing his heart out, trying to knock off these Lakota West Firebirds on the road at Lakota West.
Yeah, Lakota West is just playing their heart out tonight. Lebanon is too, but it's going our way right now.
Everett with a man to his left in the backfield. Drops back, looks downfield, nearly brought down, throws it away, finds his man on that Lakota West sideline. That is number 22. We've been calling his name all night, Lucas Roddy. There was a flag down in the backfield. And it will be a hold going against Lebanon. And considering Lebanon got the first down, I'm pretty sure Lakota West, no choice there but to accept that penalty.
Yeah, holding's going to happen, and we're going to get it called. And so that's the only reason probably that quarterback did not go down with the sack. And so it's going to go back, and now it's going to be roundabout 3rd and a country mile.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good estimation there. It is now inside the 10-yard line of Lebanon territory. If Lakota West can get enough guys in the backfield, a sack here would be very huge, backing this punter up in their own end zone. Lakota West been dominant on the special team side of the ball all night long. See Everett come out. Shotgun takes a snap. Back to throw under a bit of pressure. Gonna run with it, crosses the 10-yard line. Big hit. That was Mike Brankamp lowering the shoulder. Knocked him over. So we'll see a 4th down there. They're going to put it on the 9-yard line. So Lakota West now going to take this punt from a 4th and 22. Once again, seeing the duo of returners out for Lakota West. That is Trent Lloyd and Brennan Remy. They've been out all night. 1 return for each. Brennan Remy had a very solid return last return. But Trent Lloyd, of course, just a few moments ago had that big return touchdown. As this one booted up and away, it'll be number 14, Remy, to take it. Crosses the 30-yard line, tripped up, but he stays on his feet. Cutting it back to the Lebanon sideline. He's got room to run inside the 10, and Brennan Remy has a touchdown. There it is, Lakota West. They each got 6 points now on the special teams side of the ball. What a ball game for this Firebirds football team.
Right now, it's absolutely domination straight up from Lakota West, and you love to see it. because right now they're cooking and they can't stop what's being cooked up right now. Lebanon is unable to stop them on any side of the ball, especially special teams. It is just straight domination. And right now, every player, it's like, you want a touchdown? It's like Oprah giving out free stuff. Every special teams player is just getting a free touchdown at this point, because it's not even the end of the first half, and we're already almost getting a running clock.
I gotta ask, do you want to give us a real Oprah impersonation there? I'd be very curious.
You get a touchdown! You get a touchdown! Fun stuff there. Here's Tyler Bond to kick out the extra point, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you put a Coach Bolden voice on that. That's exactly what that sideline is saying down there. We'll see the snap, the hold from Aaron Peters. The kick is up, and it is good. So the ball game continues to be fully in the Firebirds' favor, 24-0. We'll take a break, but stay with us. A full night of action on the way from Firebird Field. Back from the streets of Westchester, Ohio, these Lakota West Firebirds looking to continue their dominant stretch, 24-0 after an electric punt return touchdown from Brennan Remy. Now 2 punt returns on the night, one from Remy, one from Trent Lloyd. Absolutely electric on all sides of the ball. That one through the back of the end zone, and Lebanon going to come out with another touchback to start.
So to address some comments we're receiving on the video, we've got a lot of love for our cameraman tonight, and people wondering who's on it tonight. So as always, you've got Zach Bryant doing your main camera. Love to see it up there. He's been a steady force, but tonight we've got some new people trying to learn one of the hero cameras, and that is, excuse me, my brain just escaped me for a second, Andrew Minch and Nicholas Jackson Foreman. Excuse me. Little bit of a brain mess up there, but yes, Jackson Foreman and Andrew Minch are switching on and off on the hero camera, and Zach Bryan is doing your main camera. Thank you for your compliments. I'm sure they will love it when they get to see this stream.
It's now under 9 minutes to play back here on the field. Braden Everett, the only man in the backfield, as the quarterback instantly blown up. Looked like a quick pass, and the Ohio State man, who else but Malik Hartford, coming right down on top of him.
We said it before. I think Malik Hartford is the hardest hitter on the whole team, and he proved it once again.
Guess you could say he's the hardest hitting safety in the league.
I don't think I'll ever say that. But yes, you could say that. All right, here we go with another play.
We'll see now, 2nd and 9. It was a 1-yard gain. Everett going to be keeping it up the middle. Jacob Asbeck going to be the one wrapping him up, and they'll have about a 3rd and 6 on the way.
Asbeck reminds me of a Micah Parsons, just always finding himself in where the play is happening. One of those best things I think he can do is what some people call just sniff the danger. Just like you can see where the play is going, you see all the fakes, and you're like, what's happening? You just have to it's almost a sixth sense, and Jacob Asbeck has it. He just has a feeling of where the ball's going, and somehow he always finds his way to be right where he needs to be and make the big play.
Absolutely. As always, our Defensive Player of the Year. If you haven't already, go check out Bird Talk Live, recorded last night from Buffalo Wings and Rings on 747. We see the snap there, taken from Everett, fakes the jet sweep handoff, wrapped up in the backfield instantly. Grant Bierman, number 33, you'll notice him, the sophomore, taking over tonight for the injured Ben Minnick, and he continues to have an incredible game.
Grant Bierman tonight has honestly been one of the best players this game, and it is his first ever start. He's one of those stories which people talk about, one of those storybook ones. He's honestly playing amazing. I know we will miss Ben Minnick, but after what we've seen tonight, I have faith that we're not in trouble with Ben Minnick out, because we've got another guy there who's got us backed up when we need him.
It's now 4th and 7. Once again, the punt team coming back out for Lebanon. You got to wonder where they kick this one. I don't think you want to kick it to the returners. And that one will indeed bounce on the sideline. It stays in Lebanon territory, but no shot for a return for the Firebirds.
Yeah, as you said yourself, at this point you're like, man, every time we kick it to these guys, they put a touchdown on the scoreboard. So then they go, all right, just kick it out of bounds. Let's just cut the losses. Let's just call it a day there. And so that's what they're doing, just trying to take it safe.
You can see the progression there, too. They kicked it to Lloyd. The first attempt Lloyd had takes it for a touchdown. The next two went to Remy. As soon as Remy gets a touchdown, out of bounds in the worst part of town.
You know, if it goes out and they get a couple yards further than if we kicked it down the middle, it's fine and them scoring then a touchdown.
So we'll now see Mitch Bolden making his return out to the field. Ball spotted on the 47-yard line of Warriors territory. Bolden takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Gonzalez. Throws deep downfield, able to find Giovanni Wilson at the 35-yard line. Steps back, and he's going to stay on his feet up until the 31-yard line. Finally brought down by the Lebanon Warriors as the chains continue to move as they have all night for Lakota West.
That play right there was electricity from the receiver right there. That sidestep backwards juke was one that'll go on his highlight reel for sure. He'll be sending that to every single college coach. Giovanni Wilson just was nasty on that play.
Bolden and Gonzalez again in the backfield. Trent Lloyd, the man cutting across in motion. One of four receivers wide for West. Bolden drops back, throws, fires, finds Brennan Remy just past that 25-yard line. Not quite to the line to gain, but got a good chunk of the chains.
Dakota West now finding their rhythm, and they're just moving. They are just going, and they are proving once again why they are the 5th seed in the state.
Yeah, you know, this team sees that as an insult. I know they want to be higher than that 5th seed, and they're playing like they deserve to be higher tonight.
Yes, they are.
Bolden with a clap, takes the ball, looks deep, fires over the head of Trent Lloyd, and we will now see a 3rd down and 3.
Close one there. Almost had him on that deep route. Almost looked like a bit of a post route. And they fired it, but just out of reach, and it's not going to get there.
One of the guys jotting out onto the field now, that'll be number 88, the tight end, who is a sophomore this year, Luca Gilbert. He has been a big part of the team this year. He just recently started picking up some more receptions. We've seen him targeted a couple times in tonight's game. We'll see what they elect to do with him here as he steps up on that offensive line. 3 receivers out wide. Bolden, it'll be a handoff. Giovanni Wilson going to be the man with the ball. And a couple of Lebanon Warriors are there at the offensive line to push him back. Maybe got about a yard on the carry. We're looking at about 4th and maybe a 1.5 feet.
Yeah, 4th and maybe a 1.5 feet, and West is looking to put a statement. Mitch Bolden's going to run this. I can tell you right now, he's going to take this ball and he's just going to plow.
As they're lined up now, he will stay under center. As he's talking to his offensive line, Trent Lloyd now moving up. And it looks like this will be a sneak. And there it is. Bolden able to find a hole, dives for it, got quite a few yards out of that one, not just the half that he needed, as those chains move once again for the Firebirds.
Great play there from Mitch. He recognizes that center gap is not open at all, and he's got to transfer. So he backs up, reroutes, and goes out, I think towards that B or C gap, and just punches through. Or, as I said before the play, plows through. Just great work there from Mitch.
So we'll see now, they are just up past that 20-yard line, officially in the red zone. As we'll see what they elect to call here. They currently have 4 receivers out wide. To the bottom of your screen, you'll see the dynamic duo Lloyd and Remy, but it will be Lloyd cutting across to the right side of the field. Bolden fires downfield, looks for Remy. It is caught but batted out of the hands. Nearly a beautiful touchdown reception.
Remy is very profusely trying to talk to the refs. He's saying he caught that and was saying it was just a late hit from the other team. But, you know, it is what it is. We can't exactly say what happened because at the end of the day, all that matters is what the refs rule.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty cleanly defended pass to me. Great work from the DB who was on number 14. It's never hard to defend a guy like him, and he's only in his junior year, so we got a full year out of him. See Mitch Bolden back to pass out of the hands of his man. That was Trent Lloyd on the right side of the field. Or sorry, that's Scotty Johnson on the right side of the field.
Scott Johnson has really developed as a player over this season. He started off on only coming in on garbage time blowouts, but after big play, he's earned himself, I think, the third string receiving spot, and he's just been able to glide across, and he keeps on getting these first team reps, and you love to see a story like that.
So we'll see now 3rd and 10, back-to-back incompletions. West on the 19, Trent Lloyd cutting across the field. Bolden back, looks to fire, across the middle of the field, caught by Wilson, but the ball comes out.
Oh, unfortunate there. I thought he just put on a moss on that man. He went up there fully elevated, 2 hands, but these Lebanon cornerbacks are actually very good. It's a very good showing they've been doing. They've been tracking our receivers well and punching the ball out anytime they get the opportunity. So honestly, great work from Lebanon tonight.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the pregame. This whole team looks to have very great size, but we will see Tyler Bond come out now looking to make it a 27-0 ball game. His kick from the 19-yard line. It is up, and it is good. So 27-0 now our score. Lakota West putting 3 more up on the board under 4 minutes to play in the half. We got a lot more action on the way. Be sure to stay tuned. And we are back from Firebird Field, 27-0 our score. Tyler Bond, who just put one through the uprights, looking to boot this one away into the night sky as Lebanon looks to find their way on the scoreboard for the first time in tonight's ball game.
I know a couple of the people up here in the booth, particularly one of our producers, is extremely rooting for that running clock, and so she's fighting for those final extra points.
So we'll see that one hit the end zone. And the Lebanon Warriors offense going to be trotting up to the 20-yard line to start. So we'll see Lebanon staying huddled on their sideline before trotting out for this offensive drive.
We would like to thank all of you who are currently watching. We have had around 300 viewers all night, and we just love to see that. First round of playoffs. We expect an even bigger crowd next week with the potential matchup against Princeton, but very thankful for what we've been able to grow in this community, and we're very excited to have all of you with us.
Snap taken by Everett. They're going to hand it off. It's another fake. The quarterback, Everett, going to keep it, and he stays on his feet across the 40-yard line. Gets to the 50 before being wrapped up. That is Mike Brandkamp grabbing the knees and pulling him down.
Man, we have talked about it so many times. If you had to say one good thing about this Lebanon team, I can tell you right now what everyone would immediately say. They would go, man, that quarterback is really good at selling the run fake and really good, basically inherently from selling the run fake, at running it himself. It is super hard to follow these QB running back options. And that's really been all the success they've found in this game.
Everett now with a first down, almost to the 3-minute mark. There is no 2-minute warning in high school football. So it is really 3 minutes to the half. Everett, deep drop under pressure, and he is almost brought down. He did throw out of the sack. No flag down for intentional grounding. Are they going to say that was a fumble? It looks like they never blew the whistle.
And he's pointing that it was a fumble. Now they're conferring, and if it's not a fumble, there's got to be no way that is not intentional grounding, because he was not outside of the tackle box.
It looked clear to me that was a forward pass. I don't see how you can call that a fumble, but
they're calling it a sack, or either intentional grounding or a sack. But I didn't see any flags thrown, so they're going backwards.
I think you got to give it a sack. That is Kofi Bobby, the senior on that defensive line, number 96, getting back there. We'll say he dragged him down for the sack.
Yeah, can't quite tell what they're calling because no flags ever came out. You got a bunch of refs pointing all different ways, but I think we can assume that Yeah, that now with it being 2nd and 30, you can assume that that was a sack.
Everett snap. Rolls out to his right. Kofi Bobby once again on the pressure. Nearly a one-handed snag from Malik Hartford. Just a few steps away from an interception.
Gotta say, the safeties are playing their tails off tonight. Malik Hartford and Grant Bierman are putting up games that will not be forgotten. They're the reason that this defense has been so electric all night long.
We have had one interception. That was the tipped ball caught by number 11, Jacob Asbeck. But we will now see a 3rd and 30. You got to think they go right back to the passing game, but the question is, if you do pass this ball, who are you going to throw at?
Just real quickly, a side note, we do have a comment. We love to see comments from people. One of the comments is saying, hey, you've got your scoreboard wrong, just got the person on the wrong side. Oh, well, quickly, there's a play going on.
And that one going to be defended very well. Josh Fussell, one of the guys back there, incomplete. We'll now see 4th and 30.
Back to noting on that, since we are a Lakota West stream, we just have Lakota West on the left every single time, and the away team replaces the right slot. We do not switch which side is on that side of the scoreboard. So yes, we are aware it's not the traditional scoreboard, but we just like to have Lakota West, you read left to right. So we keep Lakota West on the left. It's just what we've done all season long, and we're going to keep continuing that. Thank you for pointing that out, because that would have been very helpful if we did not realize that. But yes, thank you for your comment, and thank you for watching.
Under 2 minutes now on the clock. The punt team back out once again. And we get a flag at the snap. And it looks like it'll be a false start, backing up Lebanon even more.
Got another question real quick on the chat. We detailed earlier who's on camera crew tonight. On the main camera, it is Zach Bryant. And on the hero camera, switching on and off, it is Jackson Foreman and Andrew Minch. And so that's who you are looking at up there. Thank you once again. They have been doing a great job, and so we are excited to see what they've been up to.
4th and 35 after the false start penalty. See the snap taken. Pressure from Lakota West, and it's blocked. Who else but Malik Hartford getting back there? He's almost got the football. He does drop it. Who recovered that back in the end zone? It's either a safety or a touchdown, and it is a safety. So Lakota West now 2 points extra on the board, and they will get that punt after the 2 points. So a big play. Malik Hartford using that body, getting back there, knocking down the football.
Is that our first safety we've seen of the year? Was there one at the East game?
I don't.
Yeah, I believe there was one at the East game we did secure. But safeties have been a rare occurrence, and when I think of safety, the play I think of the most in Lakota West history is that only point St. X scored in the regional semifinals last year, that 12-2 game. I immediately think back to that. But right now, the officials are conferring a bit. And quickly while they confer, we'd like to give you a score update. Fairfield is at 7 and St. X is at 3. It is 11 minutes remaining in the second quarter, so we'll keep you updated on that, but that is one of the best games right now.
Lakota West definitely keeping an eye on that one. A big playoff matchup that does affect their path to Canton. They're closer to the Moeller side of the bracket, so Lakota West not going to be facing any of those teams right away. Obviously, the Crusaders, the favorite to make it to the regional finals. Lakota West will have to go through Elder. Elder is 1 seed higher than Lakota West, so that one going to be a bit of a toss-up. Obviously, we're a bit biased. You got to give that one in favor of Lakota West, but we will see when we cross that bridge. But for now, it is 29-0 Lakota West as they get ready to take this punt after the safety.
Another update for you guys, the Coleraine-Mason game, after due to some unfortunate events of team transportation, has been pushed back to start at 8 o'clock tonight. It will be starting in 5 minutes, so we'll keep you updated with scores with that as the night goes on as well.
And there is the kick up and away. We will see that one bounce, and it will be out of bounds.
Reminder there for all the fans going, isn't that a foul? The kickoff just went out of bounds. Due to it being a safety, that's actually a punt. And so there is no fouls there for the ball going out.
Yeah, I do believe in the NFL it is a free kick, but in high school football, that is where the ball goes out. Or as far as I'm aware, it is not a penalty.
It is not. And another quick score update for you. Moeller is currently up 20-0 over Hamilton. kind of like how Lakota West is up 29-0 over Lebanon. So these two powerhouses both putting up statements, and they both seem to be putting up a strong case for a second round next week.
Just want to point out 29 is greater than 20.
I would love to say that's true as well. And Lakota West is playing a higher seed.
That is true.
Hamilton is a lower seed than Lebanon.
And Lakota West already beat Hamilton.
Yes, they did.
Bullard did not beat Hamilton yet.
They're on their way to. Maybe. One can hope.
Now's the time for the announcer jinx.
There we go. That should be our first jinx. I just jinxed it, and I said that Hamilton was going to get beat.
Moeller is going to win tonight. We'll put that one out in the universe.
Yep. Moeller's 100% going to win tonight.
So we will see where Lakota West goes with this football. The refs are conferring. I do believe the ball will be spotted on the 28-yard line. Maybe checking which hash to put the ball on. Not 100% sure what they're doing right now. And they move the ball forward a little bit. Looks like it'll be on the 33-yard line now.
Just a little bit of conferring about where to spot the ball, but here we are, finally back with more football after a seemingly very long break.
29-0. Bolden's offense looking to get that running clock at 30 points. Bolden will be under pressure. He's going to run with it out of bounds at around the 35-yard line.
So we do have a question about next week's game. Will it be a home game or an away game, Zeldex asks us. And so the first two rounds of the playoffs have home field advantage, and West has secured home field advantage for the first two rounds. So next week's game will be at West. But then the regional semifinals and finals are held at neutral sites, and the two rounds of state are held in Canton, Ohio. So next week, look forward to West being here at home against whoever wins the Princeton matchup.
Bolden with that snap gets it off to Trent Lloyd, who has it just across the 40-yard line for a short gain, but it is good enough to move the chains for the Firebirds.
Speaking of the Princeton matchup, got a score update for you over there. They are up against West Claremont 22-6. So it appears that as we go and as we stand at the moment, it'll be West versus Princeton in the next round next week if there's not a drastic change in either game.
Bolden takes a snap and brought down instantly by multiple Lebanon Warriors. One of the guys getting back there, Quentin Wagers. We've called his name a couple times in tonight's ball game, and he's able to drag down Mitch Bolden back there.
Love giving you guys scores updates. It's a bracket, it's a tournament after all, and so we've got to check on who's against us. And Elder's up big time, 3 scores up, as Elder has 28 with their opponent Middletown at 7. So 3-score lead there for Elder, as it appears all the favorites are winning so far tonight, and no quite evidence to point to an upset this week so far.
So we do have a timeout on the field that is Lakota West, but we do want to thank our in-house Sports Center anchor, Grant Hageman.
Don't quite know what I deserve that one, but we'll accept it. You know, always love to be considered to be part of Sports Center. You know, they're a huge broadcast organization. We're a small one, so glad to have that comparison.
Small but growing.
Growing fast as always.
We'll be there.
You know, we'll be bigger than Sports Center.
I'd like to think so.
You know,
Like to think.
I give it a week or two.
So they do bring that one back, it looks like. So now, second and a few yards to go. It'll be quick pass off. That's Junior Gonzalez, able to get it across the 40-yard line. So now on the 2nd and 17, it'll now move Lakota West up to around a 3rd and 10.
I don't know if we've been able to say this yet. We talk a lot about the sky. If you look right behind you, Nick, I think we've got the coolest moon we've ever had at a football game. I don't think you guys can see that on either of the cameras, sadly. But you've got some football to watch. Let's take another look at that.
Far from a full moon, but West playing like it's a full moon. Bolden back to throw, has a bit of time, but he is under pressure. Evades one there and tries to get away from Wagers there, unable to do so. So he is brought down once again. Another sack on this drive for the defense.
Great persistence in tracking from that Lebanon team. You love to see it, but it appears there's going to be a timeout for Lakota West. Obviously just trying to preserve time because they really want to get a running clock here coming in the second half. And so it seems like that's what Lakota West is fighting to do.
So we're going to step aside for a moment. We'll be right back after this. West still up 29-0. Punt team now out for Lakota West on the 4th and 11. Just now under a minute to play until halftime. Lakota West currently on their own 42-yard line. They have 1 timeout remaining. Lebanon with 2. See what either offense able to get done before we head into the locker rooms. That punt booted up and away. It is not Ben Minnick out there today. It is Joe Marquardt in for the injured Notre Dame Irish commit, as Lebanon with the ball now around 40 seconds to play until half.
A little bit confused on that West timeout there, because if you were taking a timeout, it seems like you want to be conserving clock. But they took a timeout before a punt, which means they just extended Lebanon's drive. Are they trying to bank in on scoring points off a turnover? A little bit interested at West's strategy there. Maybe they just needed a team meeting after that sack. Just everyone take a deep breath, but a little bit interesting of a timeout there.
I mean, how can you doubt Coach Bolden? I mean, he's been around for a while. I may not know what he's doing, but I trust that he knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. You don't question that, man. He's one of the greatest coaches in high school football. In fact, he was voted the best coach in high school football this year in Ohio.
So we'll see the handoff there. Braden going to get it off to number 23. That is Braden Kay, the running back for Lebanon. He's able to get about 8 or 9 out of it, as I do believe we have a timeout called. Both teams going to their respective huddles. It will be a Lebanon timeout. So now 1 timeout apiece. We'll take another quick break. We'll be right back in a few moments. Back from Lakota West after the timeout. West still up 29-0. Around 30 seconds to play until half, as we get a jump from the defensive line. That is Kofi Bobby on the inside of that defensive line. And that'll be an automatic first down for the Lebanon Warriors.
Another quick update for you. Remember that Fairfield game we were just talking about that was only 7-3? The score now is 17-13, St. X. So St. X came back and put up 14 points since we last talked. Fairfield put up 6 points. So that one is probably a great matchup to watch.
Da-na-na, da-na-na. Sports Center Grant, hold it down.
Quick question while this play goes. Well, I'll actually hand it to Nick as this play happens.
We will see the keeper from the quarterback, that is Braden Everett, going to cut it towards the west sideline across the 50, gets about half of the chains. As there is now under 30 seconds to play, the clock on the scoreboard continues to run. No timeout called so far, as the quarterback looks like he has a bit of a limp in his step.
So the question is, how are the playoff brackets determined? There was a timeout coming from Lebanon, it appears, or it's actually coming from Lakota West. So Lakota West taking a quick one there. But the question is, how are the playoff brackets determined? And how that works is there's a computer algorithm that takes into account basically strength of schedule, win and loss, and everything in between, and then it ranks them. And it's based off of regions. And so we are in the southwest region of Ohio, as you guys probably know, it's the Cincinnati area, and they are also, Lebanon is also in the southwest area of Ohio. And so that's how they're in our bracket. And their wins and losses are counted, and they just happen to go up against us based off that. And because they lost more games than they won, and they played weaker teams, they're ranked one of the lowest. And so I hope that helped you out.
So the senior quarterback, Everett, who did have a bit of a limp, is back out now. Just a few seconds till half. Has a bit of time to pass, steps up. Looks like he's going to run with it. Pump fake. Gets around Micah Markley. He'll run out of bounds across the 40-yard line of Firebirds territory with around 5 or 6 seconds left on the clock.
Sadly, it looks like they might put up a field goal before the half ends. You would hate to see that happen, but we'll see. It does look like, though, we're not going to get the running clock to start the second half, but we should get it soon into the second half.
That would be a long field goal where it stands. It looks like Everett is going to stay out on the field, so I don't know if they're going to try and get a short yardage play and kick it, or if they're just going to go all the way here towards the end zone. But we do get a timeout called. I do believe it is a Lebanon timeout. And I do believe it is. So as those teams go to their huddle, I do want to ask you, Grant, if you are the coaches of Lebanon, are you going for that short yardage play, or are you just going to hurl it downfield?
Oh, hurl it downfield. You're down 29 points. It's not like you have unlimited time left and you have anything you want for the rest of the world. You've got to get points when you have a chance. And, yeah, I did say they were going for a field goal, but I thought he got a little bit further down the line. Obviously, it is a little bit too far for high school. And so I say they go out there and they just say, hey, quarterback, let's see how far you can throw it. Just chuck it. Who knows? 50-50 shot. One of our guys gets it.
Yeah, a 56-yard field goal is not something you want to give a high school kicker. I mean, there are NFL guys out there who struggle with that. So to have that pressure put on you in high school, that's not easy.
Yeah, very not easy. But you know who handles it well? The coolest kicker in high school sports, Tyler Bond, our special teams player of the year. But let's see what they can do. Right here we go.
4 receivers out wide for Lebanon. Everett looks to his left, finds a man, and brought down by the ankles. That was Slade Keel, who has 7 touchdowns on the year, but that one will not be a touchdown as we trot into the locker rooms at halftime. We still got 24 minutes to play. Lakota West up 29-0. Stick with us through the break. Lots of action on the way. Thank you for sticking with us through the break. We're back with more action from Firebird Field. Your Lakota West Firebirds currently lead 29-0 over the visiting Lebanon Warriors in round 1 of the Ohio High School football tournament. As always, bringing you the coverage of tonight's football game from up in the booth, Nick Johnson and Grant Hageman bringing you tonight's call. And Grant, it was a fun one so far, but let's take a look now at some other games around the area.
So, in this Grant Hageman score report,
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
we've got some fun scores from around the current tournament bracket. Moeller's up 27-0 at Hamilton, against Hamilton. We're up 29-0 against Lebanon. All I'm going to say about that one. You've got Lakota West, obviously up 29-0 over Lebanon. Elder 28-7 over Middletown. And you've got Princeton 29-6 versus West Claremont. And then you've got St. X up 17-14 to Fairfield. So it appears when we gave that earlier score update that Fairfield probably just scored a touchdown and was about to kick the PAT when we said it was 17-13. So now 17-14 there. Springboro up 35-7 over Oak Hills. Low might be the end of the season there for Oak Hills, but Mason and Coleraine is the only team currently playing. All the rest of the teams are currently at half, and Mason and Coleraine is in the first quarter.
And we are right back from Firebird Field. Second half of football underway. Lakota West looking to capitalize this one and move on to round number 2. As that return brought just up past the 20-yard line before going out of bounds. So essentially a touchback for Lebanon, as this Lakota West defense that has remained a dominant force in tonight's ball game trots right back out onto the field.
Lakota West has been dominant, and really all three sides. I mean, sure, you can say the West defense has been dominant because they have been. But you know what else has been dominant? The offense, the special teams, the coaches, the mascot, the student section. What hasn't been dominant?
I got to say, compared to the first round playoff game last year, this student section considerably larger. So you'll see now 1st and 10 from the 22nd yard line. That one fakes handoff. It'll be the quarterback number 17, Braden Everett, keeping that one, going to run out of bounds just a few yards on the game. So we'll see where they spot that ball. It looks like it'll be down on the 29-yard line. Sorry about that. We are right back from Firebird Field on the 2nd and 3. That'll be a run towards the Lebanon sideline. It'll be a first down and a lot more.
Quick little audio there. Just getting a little bit too much of the fan noise there, picking up some individual conversations, so we had to shut that out. Now we're doing well, and Lebanon is trying to make a move and get their first points of the game. Meanwhile, West is trying to stop it and work their way towards the running clock, baby.
Yeah, it was kind of a little, I don't want to say debate, but a topic of conversation pregame. Will we see that running clock in the first half, as we now see Lebanon rush set on that 40-yard line and a flag thrown?
What are we thinking here? Legal formation, maybe? Delay of game? Not quite sure.
Well, they're not going to move the football, so not 100% sure. So 1st and 10 from the 40. See the handoff from Everett, wrapped up easily on the play by that West linebacker core, and that'll be about a loss of 3 on the play.
Update from the Coleraine-Mason game. Coleraine on the board first, up 7-0 over the Comets.
Yeah, that one, as we said a little earlier on, a little bit delayed due to some unfortunate circumstances, but they have kicked it off. And Coleraine, no doubt about it, going to put up a fight against those Comets.
You know, Comets definitely coming in as the favorite, but you can't count out Coleraine. Although West did run up the score on them last week, you got to say, they did have some pretty good plays, and they've got some solid players, so we'll be interested to see where that game goes.
2nd and 13, play action. Everett to throw with it under pressure and brought down. Not quite sure if that'll be a sack. It looked like he was pushed in front of that line of scrimmage, but Kofi Bobby, one of the guys leading that tackle, looks like they're going to bring him right back to the line of scrimmage. So not quite sure if it'll go for a tackle for a loss or not, but Kofi Bobby, an amazing play.
Gabriel Flores also was one of the biggest players on that play. We got to say, we love him up here in the broadcast team. He's showing us some love on Twitter and real life. Great guy. Love to have him on our team.
So now 3rd and 13. Man in motion. Everett going to take the snap back, throw under pressure. Almost brought down. Elijah Davis now going for the sack. And Everett going to stay on his feet. He's making a push. Got about maybe 7 yards before going out of bounds. Looked like for a second he was pushing for that first down, unable to get it.
I mean, my gosh, what a play on all accounts. That quarterback was quite definitely elusive, but no one could pull him down, and then that spin move was deadly. But right now, we do have a quick question about some of the coaching staff besides Bolden on Lakota West. You've got Mr. Waddle up on this coaching staff. You've got Coach Evans out there. You've got a lot of guys, Coach Key, offensive line, and just all around a good coaching staff. If you want, we can give more info later into this game. Right now, we've got a play about to start, though.
4th and 8, Lebanon going for it. They look to throw, and Elijah Davis with the sack. And the ball is out. It looked like he was down. Elijah Davis with a big-time play, and once again, it looks like Braden Everett a little bit shaken up on the contact.
Yeah, the quarterback got twisted up there at the end of the play. It seemed like his right leg just did not fare well under that twist. And now it appears they're huddling around. I do not believe they're huddling around him. Hopefully not. Hopefully that is just a regular special teams huddle, and it is. That is at least a good sign to see so far that he's able to get off the field.
1st and 10, West already fairly deep in Lebanon territory. Lingering around that 37-yard line is where they are going to spot that football. 1st and 10 after the Elijah Davis sack on 4th down, forcing the turnover on downs. We will see Mitch Bolden return to the quarterback position. West not quite going to the reserves. Junior Gonzalez, the man in the backfield alongside him. See the fake throw there from Bolden. It is a handoff to Junior Gonzalez, who breaks free across the 5, reaches for the goal line. Does he have it? It's a touchdown.
Great play, great athleticism, and all around, just a monster play from Junior right there. And you know what that means? It is running clock territory here in the first round of Lakota West playoffs as we are pushing forward to make it as our run for the state title continues here tonight.
What an incredible run Junior Gonzalez had. Looked like it was scripted to be about up the middle of the line, maybe 5 yards. No, he breaks free. He takes it all the way 37 yards to the house. Capped that one off with an amazing dive for the goal line. Now West with a chance to go up 36-0. It is up, and Tyler Bond absolutely drills it. So 36-0 our score. We still got a lot more time to go, but now with a running clock. So stick with us. Back from the confines of Firebird Field down here in Westchester, 36-0 now our score after Junior Gonzalez. One play, one touchdown, 37 yards to the house as that kick is up and away. It will hit the end zone, so Lebanon going to come out at that 20-yard line yet again.
So you guys requested some information on the coaching staff besides Coach Bolden, and if you want to know, we can list all the assistants for you here. You've got Gary Buchomp, Dan Bolden, Will Bonin, Brenton Eisenhard, Bruce Eisenhard, Tyler Evans, Tyler Foley, Evan Horst, Tyler Halls, Phil Joseph, Todd Key, Kurt Kuwatch, Will Mahone, Dylan McCauley, John Nickel, Andrew Phelan, John Roach, Joe Spatafora, Isaac Turner, and Jeffrey Waddle. Great coaching staff there. We love a lot of them. They are so welcoming to our broadcast and our team. We've got great stories for all of them. You can come reach out to us anytime if you want to hear about how great guys there are. We can talk to you behind the scenes. Obviously, we are real people, so you can come find us in real life. We're out west every day. We can tell you the great things about this West coaching staff.
Handoff to start the drive up the middle. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No more, no less for Lebanon.
Another quick score update for you here. Fairfield back on top. It is 21-17 in the St. X Fairfield game.
It is a great night for playoffs all around, not just for Ohio football, but also the World Series going on. I've been keeping an eye on that one over on ESPN on my
Oh,
phone.
I forgot. How did I forget it started tonight?
I am sad to say the Asterix are up 1-0 in that one.
Ah.
2nd and 10 on the way. That running clock now under 8.5 minutes to go. Lebanon still taking their time pre-snap. Everett to hand this one up, running to the right side, brought down Mike Brankamp, one of the guys, to knock him down.
Big hit there from Mike Brankamp. You can hear the crowd screaming, "Let's go, Mike!" You can just tell the amount of love he commands. What a great player, and just widely renowned. You just got to love a player like him on your team.
So West does allow a little bit of a gain there. Will now bring up a 3rd and 5, but 5 yards, not an easy gain by any means when going up against this West defense.
Yeah. 5 yards. They're going to go home and brag about that one. You just said, I put up 5 yards against arguably the best defense in state. No, you'll write that one down to tell your grandchildren later.
Lee Everett under pressure, looking to throw. He is going to run with it. Does escape. Makes a push for the 30-yard line. Not quite sure if he got the first or not. It looked like he hit the guy holding that chain, so we'll see where they spot him. It looked like he might have stepped out just a little bit before the marker. And the chains, I do believe, will be moving, and there they go.
Brankamp once again finding his way to tackle. We talked about Jacob Asbeck always finding his way to the ball, but you know who does it even just a little more than him? Michael Brankamp leads the team in tackles. He's just a great guy. We talked about him a couple seconds ago. You just love to have that guy on your team, as you see twice in a row lands a big hit.
See Everett with 2 backs in the backfield. Takes a snap. They're going to run this one to the left side of the field, blown up by that West defense. That was Micah Markley, another linebacker here at linebacker high, blowing up that one for a loss.
So, yeah, we do have another question about the Lakota West coaches. Depending on the coach, a lot of them, yes, they do. They also hold teaching positions in the district. Mr. Waddle is our Nexus teacher. Coach Evans, he teaches gym class. Mr. Nickel is one of the high-end engineering teachers. You just got teachers all around the district, and they make a big difference in our students' lives every day, and we are very proud to have them here at West.
Snap taken by Everett. Handoff goes up the middle, and it looks like he'll get about 7 out of that one, not quite to the line to gain. Clock keeps running now under 6 minutes in the 3rd quarter.
I think Lakota West really wants some defense. Fans very, very predominantly loud about that one.
So we'll see now 3rd and 3 on the way. Everett once again with 2 backs in the backfield. Takes a snap, gonna fake the handoff, gonna keep it and run with it. And there are a lot of players in the area. Can't quite see where he went out of bounds, but I do believe he was a bit shy of the line. And he will be about a good 2 yards shy, so 4th and 2, you gotta have to imagine they go for it.
Yeah, down 36 in a win or lose your season game. You just got to go for it at this point. Your whole season's on the line.
As we say that, it looks like the special teams unit trotting on the field.
It's a little bit weird of a notion because you're down 36 with only 16 minutes counting down your season, and you decide that you should kick the ball where West has a running clock. Just an interesting move, but there's a timeout called right there from Lebanon. And so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
Back from Lakota West High School, the Firebirds up 36-0, continuing their dominant shutout performance thus far over the Lebanon Warriors in round one of what is sure to be an exciting high school football tournament. As we've been saying this whole night, Lakota West, one of the favorites to go all the way. And, you know, just us being a little bit biased, I know we definitely want them to go all the way as well.
Oh, yeah, but, you know, I know some of you fans out there might be like, man, this game's it's a little bit one-sided, not exactly the most interesting thing to watch at home, but looking at the scores, we've talked about multiple times this week as that punt goes out of bounds, obviously scared of this West special teams unit. With the score at the Princeton game, with Princeton up just about as much as we are up over Lebanon, it appears next week number 5 Lakota West will be matched up against number 15 Princeton with a rematch of the match that happened earlier this season. So stay tuned for that one. That is going to be a great game.
Yeah, that first game at Princeton, it was a very fun one. That was one of our first really big streams. So obviously we're happy once again to get Princeton back in that, you know, in West's schedule. So, I mean, I got to think West does very well again, but you got to wonder the mindset Princeton's coming in with. We will see Lakota West sticking with Mitch Bolden. It will be a handoff. That is Giovanni Wilson to the right side, cuts back left, evades many tacklers, cuts it right back to the right side. He's got a hole. He's got the first to the 30, the 25-20, stumbling down at around the 19-yard line. But Giovanni Wilson with an incredible rush all over the place. Looked like he went about 70 yards.
Absolutely electric play there from Giovanni. We saw him put one of the nastiest jukes on we've seen earlier this game, and there you see him using his ball carrier vision to redirect the whole field and make a massive gain. And one of the things I would love to point out is Mitch Bolden was his lead blocker. Mitch threw up a pancake and threw someone to the ground. You love to see your quarterback getting out there. Mitch, I can now put him down as a triple threat.
I mean, hey, whatever works. As you see another handoff, Junior Gonzalez up the middle, gets a couple before being brought down. Second and 8 after the 2-yard gain, under 3 minutes in the third quarter. A quick substitution here. We see Giovanni Wilson back out on the field. Now second and 8 from the 18, the Firebirds in the red zone. Lebanon looking to keep Lakota West a little bit at bay here, put up a little bit of a fight. As we see Bolden keeper up the middle, breaks inside the 10, puts on the jukes at the 5-yard line, brought down. But it will be a first and now goal to go from the 5-yard line. That
tackle had me hold my breath. When you have someone grabbing you up around the ankles and shins and hitting in the knees, there's a big problem with the fact that you could risk a leg injury. And so you would hate to see that happen. And so I honestly think Mitch should be pulled after this drive because you would hate to have your best player injured. But we've got a score update for you here now. It appears that in the St. X Fairfield game, the score is now, I think it is 28 St. X to Fairfield 21.
As we see the play there, and that will go for a touchdown. Junior Gonzalez able to punch it in from the 5-yard line, and Lakota West just continues their absolute dominant performance over these Lebanon Warriors. And if they didn't clinch it before, I think that should just about do it.
Yeah, with the Tyler Bond extra point about to come in, you got to think this game's over. But right there, the big run leads to a massive gap where he runs straight into the end zone. But yes, I can confirm St. X is up 28-21 over Fairfield. Oh, excuse me, it is
20-21 Fairfield. Fairfield is up 1 point. Got a little bit of score problems there, but now we finally got it out. But here we go. We're going to take a quick break now that these two teams have gone off, and we'll see you back in a second.
Back from Lakota West, this time the scoreboard reading 43-0. Lakota West continues their shutout performance over these Lebanon Warriors, and after Junior Gonzalez is able to punch that one in for a 5-yard touchdown rush, Lakota West pretty much all but putting this ball game to rest.
Yeah, just absolutely great play there from Lakota West, and you are super excited to see that because now you can practically call this game done. And Lakota West seems like they've clinched their way to move on to the second round of the OHSAA state playoffs.
So that return cut back around the 20-yard line, but he's gonna be able to run it up past the 30, out of bounds around the 35-yard line. There is a very late flag thrown, both in the backfield and on the sideline there. Maybe some late extracurriculars.
A little bit of late laundry.
So we do get the call. It looks like Lebanon will be moving forward. Not quite sure what the exact call was. And those chains moving way downfield.
Still not quite sure on what the exact thing is there, but as we talk, St. X puts up a touchdown, and barring an extra point there, currently up 26, possibly 27 over the Fairfield 21. Absolute great game over there.
So we see 1st and 10 now for Lebanon on their own 48-yard line. They currently trail 43 with under a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. As it'll be the quarterback stepping back there, and it is caught at the 20. Able to run with it at the 15, got room inside the 10, around the 5. An excellent pass from Braden Everett all the way down inside the red zone as Lebanon about to get their first points of the day up on the scoreboard. And it looks like there is a penalty that will be moving Lebanon back.
Seems like it's going to be can't quite figure out what the foul is at the moment. Oh, it appears that it is targeting? Targeting would be a big suspension and a lot of fouls. So we've got to see what they're going to work out here. Not quite sure yet what the call is. It might have been a legal man downfield, which seems to be the more probable answer.
They are moving back quite a bit, though.
Yeah, obviously, illegal man downfield and targeting have a bit similar calls. And so, we didn't quite see.
Do get a little bit of a stoppage in play here. It looks like a timeout was called for Lebanon, if I am correct. Oh, yeah, sorry, it is. We got a little bit distracted trying to figure out what that call is. We did officially switch over to the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that is the stoppage in play there. And we have confirmation. The ref call was targeting. Not quite clear on what exactly who it was called on or what happened in the play, but awful stuff there. A question I honestly don't know the answer to, and maybe someone up here in the booth has the answer to. Reason the Lebanon's on that side of the field as the quarter ended, and so the teams are switching sides of the field. Lebanon did not count that play movement. But interesting question is if the player who committed targeting is a senior, what happens? Because usually they get suspended. Does that suspension just magically drift off into space? Because you can't suspend them from life, because what if they don't go on to play another football game? So honestly, that's a bit scary for West. Because if these seniors on this Lebanon team really have nothing to lose, they could just target all they want, I guess. But
see the play there, ran to the right side, and they may be backed up. It was at 1st and 33 down in the field, but he got quite a bit of it there. That is number 23, Braden Kay, on the run for the Warriors. We see the Warriors now working with a 2nd and 17. As we see the play there, blown up at the line of scrimmage. Not much of a gain, and that should bring up a very, very difficult play for these Lebanon Warriors as they keep losing these downs, as they are now backed up, I believe 16 yards is what they're going to call that down on the field for a 3rd down.
Got another score update for you. That's practically what I am tonight at this machine. Got a little bit of a blowout here, but we've got some interesting games looking around here. Fairfield and St. X is locked in an instant classic as Fairfield retaliates and ties it up at 28-all. And so here we go, though, with 11 in deep ball. It is going to be intercepted. Number 30 for Lakota West getting up and getting that ball. And you've got to say this game here is iced. Lakota West has got to be basically locked in to move on.
That was Finn Mason, the sophomore defensive back for these Lakota West Firebirds. It does look like they are going to call that an interception on the sideline. They did get the feet in bounds. So, as if the game wasn't already over, Lebanon really running out of hope now. All West has to do is drain these final 10 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, with a running clock, that's not a tall task. Just get a couple runs, move the ball with consistency, and this one is as good as wrapped up.
And Mitch Bolden will no longer be in the game. I do believe that is Nolan Parker now entering the ball game at quarterback for these Firebirds. And so is Davion McCoy. We see the handoff there. Cuts it back towards the west sideline, fights for quite a few, and it looks like Pete picked up that 1st down.
Davion McCoy, a monster halfback. You know, he's a fan favorite up here in the booth. We've interviewed him a couple times after games, and he's just a nice guy, and we love to root for them. He just always produces when he gets a chance on the field, and he's a great guy off the field. But here comes Nolan Parker to lead his offense out and keep going.
So we'll see what they draw up. Probably getting that ball back into the hands of Davion McCoy, who continues his very dominant season when given these opportunities. We've seen him in a couple of blowout games, but we've also seen him worked in to the starting offense quite a few times. So we see Nolan Parker take the snap, handoff up the middle. That is not Davion McCoy. That is number 29, Cordell Atkins, another junior running back.
Davion McCoy just being used as a little bit of a decoy on that play. Everyone's like, wait a minute. Usually in blowouts, this guy comes in and he runs up the score. How about we put some defenders on him? Oh, no, the other guy's got the ball. That's disappointing. And so Lakota West just using a little bit of deceivery there, but there he is right there, lined up in the running back slot, right next to Nolan again.
Nolan with the snap. Handoff to Davion McCoy, who powers his way through that line of scrimmage around midfield is where he's going to be brought down, that 50-yard line. But we will see a 3rd down for these Firebirds.
Man, that St. X Fairfield game, it's just back-to-back-to-back scores from both teams. Kind of reminds me of our Fairfield game. Absolutely, it was one of the most memorable game we've had all season. No question. Instant classic immediately. And it seems like they're building one up over there in Fairfield.
You know, I still think I want St. X to win that ball game. It would be a better matchup against Moeller next week, I believe. So we see Nolan hand it off to Cordell Atkins, making a push for the 50, brought down by the defensive front.
Yeah, honestly, I think St. X has a bit of a better chance against Moeller because St. X is very vertical, and Moeller is a lot better against a run plan. And so, obviously, you know us. We are very heavily rooting against Moeller because they knocked us out last year, and they're who everyone compares us to all year. And so, if we're rooting for anything, we want Moeller to lose. So we're rooting for St. X tonight.
It's funny because at the catch-22, you don't want to play Moeller, but I'm sure these players who were on that team last year really want their shot at a victory over those Crusaders.
Yeah, Moeller ended their season in the regional finals last year. And if the two teams play this year, as that punt is marked down around the 20-yard line, if these two teams get to play again this year, you know where it'll be? It'll be in the regional finals once again. And so it'll be a little bit of a storybook there to have us have a rematch once again going back into it. And so you know these West players, that's what they want. They want to have that rematch, and they want to go to state beating Moeller.
So we do see the turnover there on the punt. Lebanon now taking over in their own territory, now under 7 minutes to play. Running clock still in effect.
Comes Lebanon out on the field.
Marching band still playing very loud for all these West fans who have stuck it out through the blowout. see Braden Everett make a return to the field. Going to be handoff there, run to the right side, brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Big hit there. After being wrapped up, he turns around and goes, I'm spinning out of this tackle. And he spun into a massive hit, and he gets floored to the ground. Unfortunate there, but 6 minutes now remain almost, and you're coming towards the end of this game. And sadly for those Lebanon seniors, the end of their high school football career.
Yeah, not the way you want it to end, but, I mean, at least it was a game like Lakota West. If you're going to go out in this fashion, I think I'd rather it be against a high seed than a game that was supposed to be more competitive.
Yeah, and as we talked about earlier, I don't know if we talked about it on or off air, if you lose to, Lakota West has a lot of players who are primed to go far in life. And so, shoot the bucket, probability says, one of these Lakota West players, they might make it big one day. They could make it to the NFL, who knows? And so wouldn't you love to be able to say when you got old, I played against that guy. You're watching him on your Monday Night Football TV. You're like, oh, hey, I played against him in high school. So you got to say it's a fun memory for them.
3rd and 3 now. Keeper for Braden Everett. Being chased down by a couple of West defenders. Down he goes. And we'll see where they spot him. It looks like as of now it'll be just shy of the first down. And the referee will throw up the 4th down.
Yeah. If they do not get this 4th down here, I would say that's basically officially game.
I mean, in 5 minutes with a running clock, I don't know how much you can do. It's been over, but when you're Lebanon, you're playing for pride here, and I don't blame them for trying to put points up. It's what you want to do, but it would just stink being one of those Lebanon guys in this situation.
It's kind of like how Lakota East got a last-second touchdown.
See the handoff there, and they're going to easily pick up that 1st down. Clock keeps running now, under 5 minutes to play in this ball game. Lakota West pretty much all but on to that 2nd round game. As we mentioned, it looks like it will be Princeton at the moment. Now see under 4:20 to go. Lebanon taking their time in the huddle, not necessarily in a hurry to get this snap off. Everett lining up, 2 backs in the backfield. Hands this ball up. Cut to the west sideline. And he will be hit out of bounds. That was Marquez Johnson, the senior running back, getting a touch in the final minutes of his high school career.
It's a sad thing to talk about, being in the final minutes of your high school career. But out of all places, even if you win it all, it'll be the final minutes of your high school career. And it's a sad thing, you've got to know all these guys have got big senioritis. I've been talking with the seniors. I was standing with Mike Brankamp. We love to talk with him. I was talking with him, and he was going, dang, man. There's a possibility that this is the final game ever of my high school career this week. Obviously not, now that Lakota West is dominating in fashion, but it's going to happen, and it's sad to see, but Lakota West is hoping to go out with a bang.
Marquez Johnson getting another touch there, moving the chains. Lebanon keeping this drive alive. So we'll see now officially under that 3-minute mark. Lebanon now lining up 1st and 10, waning moments of the ball game. Everett with the snap, hands it off, run to the right side. Read very well by the West defense. That was number 10, Alex Klein, the sophomore, on the touch.
Lakota West just trying to grind this one out. Under 2 minutes, 30 seconds now. Oh, we love to see that from the fan in the chat. You say you're a Lebanon alum and from the 70s and congratulating us West guys on this victory. Thanks. We love to see it. We're all about just big community here, especially up in the broadcast booth. Although it's a game, it's a competition on the field. These guys are real people down there on the field, and sad to see this Lebanon season end and these seniors' career end in high school, but we feel honored to be the ones to end it for Lebanon, and are very excited to move on. And thank you. West is looking to keep on going, and thank you for your good wishes as we've secured our first win in this playoff bracket.
That last rush, Lebanon breaking into Firebirds territory. It does bring up a 3rd and 3. As we see a rush there, it'll be a first down. But a big hit from the Firebirds defense. They do move the chains and stay alive. Now under a minute 20 to play in tonight's ball game.
And we do have a score update for you now. Who do you think has it, Nick? Who do you think's got the lead?
Sanex.
And you are right. Sanex scores a touchdown and go up 34-28 over Fairfield. Extra point coming soon.
Bingo. Now under a minute here, Lebanon continues their push. Fake the handoff. Everett running that one. It'll be out of bounds up to 35. Late flag. So we see there, time continues to run down even on the penalty. So it looks like Lebanon will be the one moving back as we hit now under half a minute to play. And I'm pretty sure we can all call this a final here from Firebird Field. Not even sure if Lebanon's going to come out to run another play. Under 10 to go.
Quick update here for all the fans asking. It looks like Lakota West is going to play Princeton next week, as Princeton is up 29-6 over West Claremont.
As we do see Lebanon getting a play off. Throw downfield is picked off. Pick number 2 of the game for Finn Mason, the sophomore defensive back. Ends it with a bang, a 2-pick night for the sophomore, as we can now call it a final. Lakota West advancing to round 2 of the high school playoffs here in Ohio. 43-0 your final from the streets of Westchester here at Firebird Field. Lakota West dominant as always on all phases of the game. The young guys getting a little bit of time. 2-pick performance from Finn Mason. We had Grant Bierman step up, one of the players of tonight's game, and we got some post-game interviews that we got to go get from down on the field. So if you do not follow us on Twitter already, go to LWHSBC on Twitter to see those exclusive interviews. But from Nick Johnson and Grant Hageman up here in the booth, Alyssa Wise, Dimitri Fizik, Zach Bryant, and Jackson Foreman, and Andrew Minch on the production side of things behind the camera. Thanks for tuning in tonight. It's been a fun broadcast as always. We'll bring you coverage of next week's ball game. But for now, as always, go Firebirds.